The following programming is sponsored by Pete Trabucco. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect the views of this station, its management, or Beasley Media Group.
And welcome to another edition of Live on Tape at WWDB AM 860 Talk Radio Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group radio station on a Saturday afternoon here in beautiful Philadelphia, and we're just so happy to be here again. I've got, of course, Shane again as my producer, and of course, you might want to call him a director because he basically has the whole board. Now, see, Shane, I don't think you know this, but I know that you are with a bunch of radio stations. We have 6 of them here. Okay, we're the AM, only child, as they call it, okay? So, we're the AM talk radio station, but of course you've got the Fanatic, which obviously you do a lot of work with. We've also got Ben FM, MMR, MGK, XTU, and of course us as well. He's got badges to get in all these different places. Now, I don't know, Shane, if we ever talked about that. They didn't give me a badge. I mean, I'm allowed in the AM station, and I can't go anywhere else. And you got that badge, which I want that badge, by the way.
It's my lucky badge. It's my it's the mark that says, yeah, they like me enough here that I get to work at all the stations when they need a guy.
And this is true. And of course he's been doing a lot of stuff with the Flyers. We'll talk about hockey in a sec. But the thing is, he's got this badge, folks, and I can't figure out how to get that badge off him. Because I need to do that. Because, I'm stuck in this. It's a nice studio. Get me wrong. I've got 3 studios. There's an opening. I got my picture on the wall. I got posters. I got all that stuff. It's really cool. But if I want to go to any of the stations and they're on the same level, I can't do it. I can't get past the vending machines, okay? And one time, Laura, who's the station manager here, she actually, what incredible voice, by the way. Most of the commercials you hear on all the stations, she's done an amazing job with that. One time she said, Pete, I'm going to I feel like I was at the White House and getting a tour. Okay, I'm only going to do this once, all right? And they opened the door. I opened the door. I walk in. I look at all the studios and all the facilities and all the people on the air and stuff. And this is Pete Trabucco from the radio station, blah, blah, WWDB. And everybody's like, yeah, well, okay, fine. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, right, okay. Talk to me when you're, a music station or a, FM, sports station or country station. So I had my window pressed, my nose against the windows, pressed against the windows because they wouldn't let me in the studio. Okay, I felt like a 6-year-old looking through, going, and of course, Shane over here, he just go, that's it, I'm in there. I don't have to worry about it. So what's it like with all that power, Shane? What's it like that?
To be the lowest guy on the totem pole still sometimes is crazy, but I get all that power, and I forget that sometimes. I walk through those places. I look at, the walls and walls of signed things from Metallica and all the other bands. It's just... It's like a museum in itself that sometimes I'm working a late night between a hockey game and they're like, well, we need someone to fill an hour. Go in there, Shane. Go play whatever you need to. Just get us to midnight. And I sit there and I go, oh, my God, I'm doing this on MMR? I'm doing this on so-and-so station? It's like 10 years ago, I couldn't even think about this. 10 years ago, I wouldn't even be able to fathom this. I'd be pressed against the window like most people.
Like me, like I am now. I'm 67 years old, and I'm still pressing my face against the window, so not good. So anyway, yeah, so one of these days, when you're not looking, that badge is going to be gone. I'm going to make a copy of it, okay? Of course, now the entire world and all the other 6 stations, the 5 stations, have just heard me say that. So they're going to be, I'm probably going to get a call saying, Pete, no, you're in the AM station. That's where you're at. That's where you're going to be. And which is, I like that, okay? But you're right, the paraphernalia. I've had a lot of recording artists on the show. Just last week, we had a director, an amazing director on the show who directed, of course, Crash and $1 Million Baby. He's worked with Al Pacino, Anthony Hopkins. We've had, so many singers that have been on the show, established singers. Taylor Dane, Tony Orlando. We've had, of course, Bill Medley from the Righteous Brothers. I had Kool and the Gang on, and I just had the Tramps, Robert Upchurch from the Tramps, Disco Inferno. I can just go on and on and on. All the people we've had in this studio, but I like to have new people that come on. They're up and coming. Okay, they're not quite on the level of some of the people who, like a Taylor Dane or on the level of a Taylor Swift, but they're getting there, and they're doing incredible jobs. They're doing fantastic. They're very talented, and like I said, we've had a bunch on that when we first started, no one knew who they were, and some of them, like Laura Cheadle, for example. I mean, she's on a major label. 9 albums, does extremely well. Backer Grace has been on. She's on the way up. I've had people that have been on this show that have been on The Voice, done quite well. And also American Idol, they've been on this show as well. So today we have got an up-and-coming writer, recording artist. He just does pretty much everything. We have Brenner Plaehn with us today. Brenner Plaehn is in Massachusetts. We won't hold that against him because we're Philly. Okay, especially when it comes to hockey, all right? But Brenner is with us today. He is a recording artist, he's a writer, and he's also a musician as well. So, Brenner, how are you doing today?
Hey, very well, Pete. Thanks. How are you?
I am doing good. I've seen some of your interviews, on the YouTube and everything, and I've listened to some of your music, which basically is great. You're also a...
thank you.
No, seriously, I mean, you're cool,
thanks.
Man. That stuff, it's just a matter of time, before you start playing in these major halls and because we've had people on and they started off with, with little stuff. Maybe they started with maybe something on YouTube and then from there and ended up going on the platforms, and from the platforms it ended up going into the albums and so on and so forth. And you're on your way, man. You've done quite well in the time that you've been doing this. And, it hasn't been forever, but, it's just amazing. You play the guitar too, right? And the drums as well?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I play all the instruments that you would see in a typical rock band. I'm 22. I have an album coming out on May 8th, which I think is actually quite good. And so I'm from Mass. And I don't take any issue personally with Philly. You guys aren't big enough to have an issue with.
That's tough. Oh, Shane just threw you a dirty look, I'll tell you.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. If Boston goes up 3-0 next time in their series, they'll probably just lose it again anyway, but that's fine.
That's right. Oh, that was legendary. Well, I'm from a tiny town anyway. I'm from a town that's so small that people from 20 minutes away from me have never heard of it. So don't feel too bad.
Well, that's okay. It sounds like you're from, was it Dunstable, Massachusetts?
Dunstable, yes.
Did I get it right? I got it right.
You got it right. Good job.
And
I know the farm town.
Yeah, I'm reading your bio now where your music reflects a deep belief in the enduring power of rock and roll. So you're a rock and roll guy.
I am.
It's
Don't
funny.
get it twisted.
I've had Iron Maiden on. I've had Twisted Sister members that were on. Pat Benatar people. So we do like to have the rock and roll people on. What got you into rock and roll? I mean, there's so much music out there. What got you into that?
Oh, it's just always where my heart was. I didn't kind of learn it. I listened to The Fray a lot when I was around 5, 6 years old, and really loved it. And then I got into Coldplay. And then I was around 9 and I heard U2, and that was the drop everything moment. And first guitar and learned from there. Great.
Well, yeah. I mean, U2, David Bowie, Sting, The Police, Dire Straits, New Order. These are the people that you started listening to.
Correct.
Yeah. Now, what's your style like? I mean, if you have to take these bands, what would be your style in comparison to any of the bands that you just heard? I mean, you're getting influence from them, but which one would you say you're closer to when you write songs?
I don't know. I don't try to write like anyone. I suppose David Bowie or Leonard Cohen would be the closest.
Okay.
Bowie and the eclecticism.
Yeah, you do.
And Cohen in the sort of narrative. That'll become more evident over time.
Yeah. Well, and I said you've got a new album coming out. It's Viva Rare, coming out on May 8th. So we're looking forward to that. We'll talk more about that later in the interview. But I'm telling you, that's when you know you're on the right track, when you come out with an album and you're on all these different platforms and everything along those lines. That basically is important. Now, as far as have you been like, in addition to the recording artist and the writer, and we'll talk about the writing in a little bit, did you ever play in a band in order to start off, or is the band coming later, or how does that work?
I played in a couple, and it didn't go well at all. And then I have a few solo shows coming up. I'm actually en route to New York right now to play.
Wow, that's fantastic. So that's great.
Yeah.
So now, do you just book for the Massachusetts area, or do you? I mean, because we could love to see you in Philly. You know, we'd love to see you do a show here. Have you traveled at all?
Oh, I'm just getting started. You're catching me as I'm just kind of getting my feet under me. I've never played shows. This is a new thing. I have 2 shows in New York City over the next month.
Well,
that feels like amazing.
Well, there's shows. I mean, there's shows. So I mean,
Yeah.
you're on the boards. I mean, you got an album out.
But I will absolutely get down to Philly. And despite what I said at the beginning of the interview, I'm actually very excited to see Philly and get to know Philly.
Okay. Well, we would love to have you. In fact, we got a lot of venues that we would love to see you in, basically, and clubs,
Right.
that we can definitely get you in. So we're definitely looking forward
Thank
to. Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, part of being on the radio show here, obviously,
Right.
is to get you promoted so that we can do that. I mean, I've had, like I said, big stars on. They don't really need it. I mean, whether they do my
Right.
show or not, that's an extra. But with you and people like yourself, I love to see them start out like you're doing, and then eventually down the road, maybe a year or two, your album hits, and then another album hits, and then before you know it, you're on the road to on the levels and making a lot of money doing that stuff. And eventually, I mean, think about all the people I've had on that have been on American Idol, and like Daughtry, for example. All right, came out of nowhere. Okay, Carrie Underwood came out of nowhere. I mean, all these people, they were good, but they weren't well known until they went onto American Idol. I've got people from The Voice that have been on as well, all those shows, and they were. I mean, one of my people, and I don't want to mention their name because obviously it was told in private to me, and it was told in private to The Voice, and that was all she wanted to do was be able to get a van when she traveled. In other words, she was traveling in her car, and all she wanted to do was get a van. Okay. By the way, she's got a bus now. All right. But she did all she wanted to do was get a van so she could put her equipment in there, and now she's got buses. She's known, pretty much all over the world, internationally known. And it all starts in the same place, Brenner, and that's where you are right now, starting with a band. And by the way, if there's a song with Boston, remember Boston? We're just a band out of Boston. Okay, you got to know that song, right? You're trying to make the ends meet, and then all of a sudden, boom, a promoter comes in and says, "I'm going to make a big star out of you." And by the way, that's a true story. So, I mean, even Boston, who should be, by the way, in the Hall of Fame. I don't know why they're not in the Hall of Fame. They should be in there. But definitely we're going to talk Boston when we get back. So right now I am talking with writer, recording artist, and he's a musician. He's an amazing musician himself. His name is Brenner Plaehn, and we'll be back with Live on Tape right after these messages.
That's Pete's Music. Pete Trabucco's here on WWDB, live on tape every Saturday at 2. Tune in for exclusive interviews with local and national celebrities that'll make your day. You'll go behind the scenes for great conversations with Pete and his celebrity friends every week. Pete Trabucco, live on tape on WWDB AM 860, 97.5 HD2 at WWDBAM.com and wherever you listen to your favorite audio. Just ask Alexa.
Each year, 5,000 people, including children, choke to death. LifeVac can stop these senseless tragedies. It's so easy to use also. Simply place the mask over face, push, and pull. You'll never regret having a LifeVac in your home or office. Please visit lifevac.net today to protect you and your loved ones. Or you can call them at 877 LIFEVAC. That's 877-LIFE-ACT. Why not explore the best roller coaster thrill rides and water parks and amusement parks across the nation and around the world? Hi, I'm Pete Trabucco, and in my new book, A Personal Guide to the Best Thrill Rides and Amusement Parks and Water Parks, you can do just that. I also give the reader personal tips for those who once feared those mega monsters of the Midway. So why not get your copy today? A Personal Guide to the Best Thrill Rides, Amusement Parks, and Water Parks. Available at Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, Starry Night Publishing, and wherever books are sold. And welcome back to Live on Tape here. Pete Trabucco with, of course, a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Philadelphia. We are talking, oh, by the way, we're going to get into Boston because this guest is from the Massachusetts area. It's not quite Boston, it's Dunstable, but we're going to talk about that. Recording artist, he is a musician, a writer, writes music. Brenner Plaehn is with us today. He's actually going to his show as we're speaking. So thank you so much, Brenner, for being on with us and talking about that. Looking at your bio, we talked about the fact that you have influences with U2, David Bowie, Sting, Police, Dire Straits, New Order, and so on. You and I could be like not brothers because I'm 67 years old, but you could be like a nephew, okay? Because we're cut from the same cloth. But you also embrace Taylor Swift and Outkast and a whole bunch of other things. Tell me about that. They're so different.
Oh, well, I don't know how to explain it, but good music is good music, so you don't have to kind of limit yourself to one area. I love the new Olivia Rodrigo. Obviously, it's a couple of weeks old now, but I mean, it's fantastic. By the way, before we jump into anything else, I was not expecting to get a motivational speech from my radio interviewer, but here we are. So thank you.
Well, you can pay me later on that one. Bottom line, no. This is a very positive show. We always talk about the positive stuff. I've looked at your career; it's on the rise. Just keep going. It's a tough profession. And I had one person on. I had Jackie DeShannon on. You might not remember her, but she had many big hits in the 60s. Okay. I mean, she was big, like Taylor Swift. That's how big she was back then. And I asked her at the end of the interview, I said, so for up-and-coming people, up-and-coming musicians and recording artists, what advice do you have to give them? And, I expected something really, incredible. And the first words out of her mouth was, a good lawyer. Okay? Yeah. You need a good lawyer, okay? Because that's how crazy that industry is. So, and eventually you'll get there as well. So now we talked about Massachusetts. We talked about where we come from. Okay, and of course, Shane is with me here today. We are definitely Philly fans, of course. The Eagles, the Phillies, the 76ers, and the Flyers, okay? We don't go into soccer as much, or tennis, or all of that stuff. But those are the ones that we're involved in. Now, listening to you, and I'm sure Shane can agree with me on this one, do you hear an accent? Do you hear a Boston accent at all?
If it's there, it's very faint. I'm going to need him to start saying R's.
No, because if you get 15 minutes outside of the center of Boston, it disappears. There's no Boston accent. I don't know why. I have no idea why.
Okay, so that kind of makes sense. I've been in Boston, but everybody I ever meet in Boston has got the accent. It's like even if I'm outside.
Everybody in Boston has the accent. Nobody outside. I did have one friend in high school whose mother had a Boston accent.
Okay.
I'm not sure where she was from exactly. But really, it's really not common outside of the city itself.
Yeah, you sound more like Connecticut, really, when I think about it.
Yeah. We used to say it's because we don't have an accent. That's how we described ourselves.
Okay, so now that we talked about our fanship, of course, we'll get back to your music and everything, which can be found on YouTube, on Instagram, on all the different platforms that you already have all that stuff, plus the album.
Yes, all the platforms. Yeah. Apple Music, Spotify, everything.
Apple Music, Spotify, plus on May 8th, your album is hitting 8 songs, Viva Rare. I can't wait to get the album, basically. And of course, at that point, you'll probably have maybe even a website set up for that stuff. But let's talk about Boston. You obviously are a Boston Bruins fan because you're a hockey player yourself, right?
Huge fan. Played hockey growing up, yeah.
Can you skate backwards?
I played defense, so I had to skate backwards most of the time.
Well, I think Shane will appreciate this. Yes, Shane, I skate backwards too, but not
Excellent.
but not on purpose. Okay,
Not on purpose.
not on purpose.
But you're on an incline.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know where I'm going on skates. You do not want to put me. I've taken out. This is before your time, but we used to have the roller skates, the rolling rinks, and everything. Right. I am famous. I should be in the Guinness Book of World Records for banging into people and knocking a row of people out. Not just one. I mean, when I go down, I take the entire row of people because I just can't skate.
Right.
Shane, do you skate at all?
I used to when I could actually play hockey and stuff when I had pads that fit me. But when my high school had a hockey team, they had an incident occur where the hockey team was disassociated because after a playoff game, they got into a brawl. And then, there was no more hockey team, so I threw away. I had to throw away the pads.
I have questions.
Okay.
I have questions.
Sure.
Okay. Was it team-on-team brawl, or was it a team-against-team brawl?
It was team against team brawl. It was one player. Was killing us the whole series. So
but that's acceptable.
It's
not in high school, apparently.
I mean, seriously, if it was team on team, the same team and the same people, now that's not okay. So you said you played.
That would have been worse.
So it would be. So you played defense, right? You played defense.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you're doing a lot of cross-checking and all these checking stuff that I see on television and when I'm at the place and everything. You do all that stuff?
I wasn't a cheap shot. I didn't do the cross-checking thing so much. Certainly, if you were going to get in my goalie's face, I was going to let you know about it.
Okay.
But aside from that, I was a pretty clean player. I was known as the poke check king for a short time.
Oh, really?
I was just very, very good at poke checking by virtue of being so tall for my age.
On this radio show, I've had Martin Brodeur on my radio show.
No way.
Oh no, I've had him on. I've had Gretzky on my radio show. Okay. In fact, I went to his place in Montreal. No, not Montreal. Yeah. No, it's in Toronto, right next to the CN Tower. What a cool guy. And Martin was the coolest. Okay, Martin Brodeur, even though I'm not a Devils fan, one day, somehow I swiped. And by the way, you better be careful, Shane, because I do swipe like stuff. Okay, and you've got that badge. All right, I swiped a season ticket holder badge. Okay, it was only temporary. I gave it back. Okay, and they knew about it. But we ended up going down and skating with Martin Brodeur over at the old Brendan Byrne Arena way back when. And my daughter get to go on on skates with Martin Brodeur. No one else, her, with Martin Brodeur.
Incredible.
And they skated around for about 2 minutes. She asked him questions. He answered the questions, came back, signed her jersey twice, not once, but twice. Okay. So coolest guy you ever want to meet. I'm sure Shane doesn't like him because he's an Islander. Not an Islander, a Devil. But
it's Devils fans suffer enough, they can have their good old players, but I love meeting hockey players, the broadcast hockey players. So there's some of the guys that were on the fourth line. Those guys are my favorite people. Todd Fedoruk is one of the greatest,
exactly. The rough and tumble guys.
The guys that they couldn't skate pretty, they couldn't skate well, but they got to fight somebody. That's how I'm on that team.
Well, there you go.
I'm in Jersey right now, so I'll let them know that you feel bad for them.
Well, where are you in Jersey? Where were you in Jersey? I think I'm going to meet you. Is this show in Jersey?
I'm right outside of Union City where I'm staying. So I'm pretty close to New York. Yeah,
cool.
But I might drive and see Passaic because Bruce Springsteen played an epic concert there, and I just kind of want to see it before I play my show.
Okay, well, I'll talk with Eileen after this and see if I can't sneak on over there. It's not that far from here.
We'll grab a beer.
We'll grab a beer or something, whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, you're a hockey fan. You play hockey. You obviously have to be a Red Sox fan. You have to be. Okay.
So I have to be. I'm not a huge baseball fan. I know that sucks.
Okay, so Red Sox fan. All right, well, okay.
Yes,
well,
Red Sox fan, yes. Let's roll with it. What do you have?
Well, listen, the Red Sox, I was glad when they won in 2004 over the Yankees. when they were four games above or 3 games above, and all they had to do was win one more game, and it was done in 4 out of 7. I was happy for them now, but now they're starting to win a lot more World Series than the Yankees. So and we don't want to talk Phillies here, okay? Okay, Shane.
Oh.
We don't want to talk Phillies here, right? Because, I mean, we're getting depressed every time we talk.
It's pretty sad. I mean,
Shane and shame are close to each other.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't remember too much about baseball, but there were a couple of years when I was into it.
Yeah.
And it seems like the Red Sox went from worst in the league to winning the World Series and then back to worst in the league in like 3 years.
Yeah, but they've won.
Happen, or am I imagining that?
But they've won. They've won several. They've won several World Series since then. So yeah. So they won 5. Shane's saying to 5. So I mean, that is pretty darn cool. So now that we know that you're a fan of all that stuff, let's go back to. Do you ever write songs that have to do with Boston at all, or have to do with your hometown? Because I know a lot of artists do that. Musicians do that.
I had a hit actually taken out to the ball game. No. So I don't actually. I don't want to say I don't, but at this point I haven't. There are more interesting things, and unless I want to write a song about how beautiful the woods are, which is the most important thing to me about where I live, I don't think I will.
So you live in the woods with the Wookiees and the abominable snowman, or whatever you want to call them, Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Are there any alien sightings where you are? Like
any alien sightings? I don't know. I actually don't know. I love spring peepers. They're an amazing species of frog.
Okay.
There are tons of beautiful birds that live around where I live. I'm a huge nature guy, actually. It's really in my heart.
Yeah, I see that. I see that in the bio. Yeah, I see that.
You know, the other thing. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. So the other thing is, though, there are a lot of amazing people who live in my area, and I have so many amazing connections with people, and not that any of them might ever hear this interview, but I would like to thank them because they deserve it. They're amazing people.
Well, listen, they're going to hear this interview because after we air it, okay, we have a podcast. Okay, so it goes directly. It goes directly to the, exactly. It goes directly to the podcast. All you have to do is go to the www.dbam.com. Look me up. I have a nice, cool little picture of me. Makes me look 20 years younger. Okay, click onto it, and then you just go to this date, basically, and you'll be there. It'll say your name, what you do, and you click onto it. It's going to be a 50-minute interview. I think it's 54 minutes total, and then you can just put it on all your social media. So you can do that.
It's WDBAM.
.com. In fact, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that when we get off later today. But it's www.dbam.com, and it'll say listen live if you're going to listen next week. We'll talk more about that. But also, in addition,
if there was a picture of me that looked 20 years younger, I would be 2 years old. So
I know.
I don't think that's universal.
I know. I've seen your pictures. Cool. I've seen your pictures, and I thought, why are we interviewing 15-year-olds here? I don't get it. For those of you just joining us, we are talking with Brenner Plaehn. He is an up-and-coming, and he's got a new album out. He's a writer, recording artist, musician, Brenner Plaehn, and we'll be back with Live on Tape right after these messages. Each year, 5,000 people, including children, choke to death. LifeVac can stop these senseless tragedies. And it's so easy to use as well. Simply place the mask over the face and push and pull. You'll never regret having a LifeVac in your home or office. Please visit their website at www.lifevac.net today to protect you and your loved ones. Or you can call them at 877-LIFEVAC. That's 877-LifeVac. Why not explore the best roller coaster thrill rides and water parks and amusement parks across the nation and around the world? Hi, I'm Pete Trabucco, and in my new book, A Personal Guide to the Best Thrill Rides and Amusement Parks and Water Parks, you can do just that. I also give the reader personal tips for those who once feared those mega monsters of the Midway. So why not get your copy today? A Personal Guide to the Best Thrill Rides, Amusement Parks, and Water Parks. Available at Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, Starry Night Publishing, and wherever books are sold. And good afternoon, everybody. Live on tape on WWDB, AM 860 Talk Radio. We are the lonely AM talk station here from Beasley Media Group, and I'm still trying to get that badge away from my producer here. But before we get back to the guest, I got to tell you about World Star Public Relations, where excellence meets exposure. Now, are you ready to elevate your brand to new heights? Well, their team of dynamic public relations experts is here to make your story shine bright on the global stage. Whether you're a startup, an established artist, business, or a rising star, they specialize in crafting narratives that captivate and campaigns that really do resonate. So your passport is going to be World Star Public Relations for high visibility and success. So join the ranks today, like many have done. That it's World Star Public Relations, and let your story take center stage. That number, 631-506-6600, 631-506-6600. And we're here with Brenner Plaehn. He is a writer, producer, recording artist, musician. He's got an album out called Viva Rare. Comes out on May 8th. Okay, that's just around the corner for us, folks. And he's with us today, driving to New Jersey, of all places. We have to get him to Philly. We got to get him to Philly. Okay, that's not that far. So how are you doing today? How's it feel to be going to a show now? Are you nervous about that?
No, I don't have time to be nervous. It's amazing. I had an amazing drive. I stopped at Hudson Highlands Park in New York. I mean, it's been amazing. It's so beautiful out right now. But tell me about what's the soul of Philly like? What should I expect?
Oh, Philly. Well, there's a lot of things about Philly that you'll love. We call it the city of brotherly love because basically, we're either hugging each other or punching each other out. Basically,
amazing.
It can go either way. In fact, sometimes when you love somebody,
Boston's a little more one way. Boston's like you're just punching each other out.
Oh, is that how it works? I don't know, Shane.
That's good. I
Shane,
like that balance that you got.
Well, no, I sometimes you punch the people out you love. Okay, here.
Very, very true.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So, Shane, come on. You've been here longer than I have when it comes to Philly. Tell them about Philly.
Well, I mean, if I really got to break down Philly, the best way to say is that the lifeblood of this city is every single sports team.
Absolutely.
So if they aren't doing well, things aren't going well. But when things go well, things in the city are just bright and sunny. I could step outside right now and tell you, it could be downpouring, but hey, Flyers are in the playoffs and the Sixers are in the playoffs.
Right.
So who cares? I'm having a great day.
Yeah. And not only that, but they get so excited when they win a Super Bowl. They not only punch out people, they punch out police horses. Okay.
That horse was trying to detain someone, all right? That horse had it coming.
That horse had it coming. No, seriously. I mean, have you ever watched Blazing Saddles, right? When the guy says, you can't park your horse there. And Alex Karras, a football player for the Detroit Lions, he comes off, punches the horse, knocks the horse on its butt. Okay. Well, Philadelphia had to do that. We had to do the same thing.
And there was actually a guy on a horse of his own. There was people riding horseback through the streets when they won the bowl a year or so ago. So yeah, the police horses were chasing after the other horsemen. It was a real old Western scene.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and that's Philadelphia. That's Philadelphia for you. Okay, in fact, my wife is actually going to Boston next week. I wanted to go because believe it or not, I love the Phillies, but when it comes to stadiums. Okay, my favorite stadium of all time is Fenway Park. It's the oldest, it's the prettiest, it's the nicest, and it's just got a lot of class to it. So yes, I love we have our Lincoln Financial and we got our stadiums here, but that's the best.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I've been to Fenway. I've been in the box at Fenway. My uncle Pete, who went to Penn State actually. became a Nessun executive, so we get box seats all the time. It's wonderful. And there's an energy about Fenway that is overwhelming when it's full of people. It's like there are like 1 million people in there. It's incredible.
No, you're right. I mean, and it stays. You know, like for example, the 76ers and the Flyers are moving to the area where the Spectrum was. Okay, so that's going to be. So there's no history. You know, it's like the history is gone.
Right, yeah.
You know, and it's good to get a better stadium, and they've been talking about that in Fenway for years that they were going to increase it and make it. Don't do it. Wrigley Field's the same way. Also, Dodger Stadium. These are stadiums that are older, but they've got so much class. When they knocked Yankee Stadium down, okay, I was so sad because all the memories of that place were gone. Okay, you like to have the old stuff. So the Spectrum was nice. It's good. It's good to be going back there again. What do you think, Shane? What do you think?
I think if they do the Spectrum, where I know they're building it like right above,
next to it. Yeah.
So what they should do is a modern design on the old classic, because people love the Spectrum. I mean, whether it was like a concert or whatever, you were right on top of that stage.
Hey, Rocky was there, man. Rocky was there.
You want to talk about a great thing? Pearl Jam was there. Pearl Jam did the last shows at the Spectrum, like I think a week or two before they imploded it. So that was probably some of the best like concert viewing you'd see, because as everyone said, when you're in the Spectrum, those seats, they might have been up high, but it felt like you were leaning right towards the stage. So you were just right on top of anything there.
Besides, you know, on top of that, Rocky Balboa was there.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, come on. So one day.
I'm impressed.
One day, Brenner, you're going to be playing there. You're going to be playing concerts at these places. Fenway Park, Wrigley Field. You know, you're going to be doing stuff like that.
I have to say, I'm very impressed with TD Garden. I just saw a concert. I saw the Neighborhood at TD Garden on April 8th. And I was in the nosebleeds, but there's a feeling that was procured that it felt like what you two used to talk about, where this very large building it feels very small. Yeah. It felt like they were playing a club. And I was very impressed with that, and I'm interested in that.
No, that's great, you know. And like I said, when you talk about these stadiums, Jimmy Buffett, okay? Jimmy, I used to hang with Jimmy all the time, okay? Especially in Orlando, Florida. Cool guy, really guy. Pilot like myself. I'm a pilot. He's a pilot. Okay, so we had something to talk about. Yeah.
Oh,
so
we have more to talk about than we thought.
Yeah. Okay, so we had something to talk about. And I asked Jimmy, I said, there's two things that I love about you. Number one, when you first started, you started talking and writing songs about where you live, okay, and all the places you've been, the history of everything you've done. So that was very important. And I know you always wanted to get to the level of playing Fenway Park, you know, of playing Citi Field. At the time it was Shea Stadium and other locations like that. And that was his goal. His goal was to get to those places. And that should be your goal. Write about what you know. Write about the people that you know. And of course, your goal is to get to the level where you are selling out, you know, Madison Square Garden or I don't know. What do they call that in Boston? The Garden? Is it the Garden or what do they call it?
TD Garden. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's a little bit smaller. But, you know, I used to be there when there was the Garden, and it was the one that was really small right next to it. I used to go.
Boston Garden,
oh, my God, the Boston Garden. You go in there. If you went to a hockey match, okay, the steam came up from the bottom, okay? So you couldn't see the puck, and you couldn't see the people's legs. You couldn't see the hockey players' legs because of the steam that came up from that thing. So it was like trying to figure out who's got the puck, where's it going, and the parquet floor that was used for the Celtics. I'm telling you, I did a tour there once, Brenner. You're not supposed to go on the parquet floor. Now, you know how I am already. Okay, he's got a badge. Shane's got a badge. So my goal in life is to get that badge and go to see the other radio stations. Well, they told me I could not go on the parquet floor over at the old Boston Garden. So guess what I did?
What?
I went right onto the parquet floor, ran onto it, pretended I had a ball, dribbled it up to one of the nets, took an imaginary shot, which, of course, was a swish right in there. and I got escorted out of the place. But that's my memory
You
of
are
Boston.
chaos.
That's my memory of Boston Garden. Okay.
They have a lot of rules
Wonderful.
with the flooring for like a lot of the stadiums too.
Well,
Like
yeah, absolutely.
we do a basketball shootout tournament every year for 97.5 The Fanatic. And
Sure.
there's a rule they have where if you're in that tournament, you have to have white sneakers. The soles of your shoes have to be white.
Really?
They have to be so. You can't have dark sneakers. But my only problem with that is we do this after the Sixers game where the floor has just been stomped on, dribbled on, all this by not anyone that I doubt that all those basketball players
No,
have
they
white
don't.
soles.
No, they don't.
So it's such a double standard that the thing's already dirty. You're already cleaning it. So why do you care that we're going on there with non-white soles on the sneakers? But that's their rule for now.
Yeah, I guess that's the rule in basketball or whatever, which, of course, we're in the middle of the playoffs at this point. So now let's get back to you, Brenner. I know we went off on tangents, but I want to hear about your music. Now, how do you write a song? What possesses you? And I've had a lot of people on, and each story's different. But how do you write it? Does the lyrics come first? Does the music come first? Do they come together? And how long does it take usually?
Well, I don't think there's any rule. I don't think there's any typical pattern that it follows. I mean, sometimes it'll be lyrics, sometimes it'll be music, sometimes it'll be a melody, sometimes it'll be some combination of two or three of those, and it takes a long time, and then it takes a very short time, and I don't know what possesses me to write a song. It's like what possesses you to drink water. Thirst, I suppose.
Yeah.
Some sort of hunger, some sort of thirst. And I don't know. I just have to do it.
But what happens in the middle of the night and you have a dream or you hear a tune is in your head, okay?
Right.
Do you wake up, write it down really quick? Can you read music? I mean, how do you get it down? Because it'll be gone by the time you wake up.
Well, I have one example, actually. There's a song on the record that's coming out very soon.
That's
called
Viva.
Boy.
That's Viva Rare coming out May 8th. Go ahead.
Yes. So that track is called Boy, and I wrote that not based on. I mean, I had a song in a dream, and I woke up and I wrote it down. I don't read music, but I know I can just hear it, and then I played it on the piano, and it sounded very good. And a lot of times you get something in a dream, and it doesn't sound very good when you actually write it. But this one in particular did. I'm very happy with this song, and I hope that you'll check it out.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to obviously doing that. Yeah, a lot of times it's even harder if you can't read music to actually duplicate what you just did. See, the thing is,
No.
Yes.
No. I knew what the notes were.
But don't you forget them?
Even if it was rather complex, it's if the song is true in your heart, it doesn't quite matter how complex it is, you'll remember it. But if it's hogwash, then it doesn't matter if it's as simple as hot cross buns.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to remember.
Well, see, you're also very young too. I mean, I don't even remember what I ate for dinner yesterday, okay, or last night, or what I had for breakfast this morning. So the bottom line is, you're young, you can do all that stuff. For those just joining us, we are talking with a writer, recording artist, a musician, up and coming. He's got a new album coming out on May 8th, Viva Rare, and we'll be back with Brennan Plaehn right after these messages.
If you love the WWDB Talk 860 programming, stay tuned in wherever you go through smart speaker, desk computer, or smartphone at WWDBAM.com. Wherever you go, from Philly to Phoenix or France, wherever you may be, at home or the tallest office tower, you won't miss a minute of your favorite music, commentary, or lifestyle show. Stay tuned in at WWDBAM.com. Ask Alexa, download our app, or just log on to WWDBAM.com. Amazon.com.
Why not explore the best roller coaster thrill rides and water parks and amusement parks across the nation and around the world? Hi, I'm Pete Trabucco, and in my new book, A Personal Guide to the Best Thrill Rides and Amusement Parks and Water Parks, you can do just that. I also give the reader personal tips for those who once feared those mega monsters of the Midway. So why not get your copy today? A Personal Guide to the Best Thrill Rides, Amusement Parks, and Water Parks. Available at Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, Starry Night Publishing, and wherever books are sold. And welcome back to Live on Tape with Pete Trabucco on WWDB AM 860. Talk Radio, Philadelphia. And yes, that was my book. I have a couple books out on roller coasters and thrill rides. And yes, it's doing quite well. At the same time, I only did it because I was afraid of roller coasters when I was a child. And that was a way to get over the fear. In fact, as we talked earlier with our guest, recording artist, writer, and musician, Brenner Plaehn, I was a pilot and I flew. Even though I flew aircraft, I was still afraid of roller coasters. Until one day I said to myself, I got to get over this fear. If I'm flipping airplanes and I'm doing all this crazy stuff in an airplane, why on earth would I be afraid of a roller coaster? So I put together several books and basically traveled all over the world and the country doing that. And that's how I got over my fear of the roller coasters. And yes, I've written 2 books, and one is out right now that you can get on Barnes & Noble, wherever books are sold. And I heard that, Brenner, you like aviation? Is that correct?
Absolutely. My grandfather was a pilot.
Okay.
Quite a bit of hands-on time with him. And then, I took some lessons, but I was too young. I didn't really get into it. But it's a dream of mine. Did you know that Lufthansa is still flying 747-400?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's incredible. Are there any other airlines that are still flying 400?
Well, I'm sure there are probably a few overseas. Obviously, then,
right.
And of course, we all know
the last 727 was just retired.
Yeah, of course, the Air Force One was a 740. Right. It still is a 747. But there are not many around. There's a lot of parts, a lot of millions of moving parts on the 747. It's not economical, and that's one of the reasons why they went to the smaller airplanes, the 757, the 767, the 737, right. The Airbus A20, A19, or A119, A120. So they're smaller airplanes. But, I flew for the Air Force CAP program, did search and rescue stuff. Then I got involved in BP, and I ended up doing loop-de-loops and Emmelmans and all those crazy stuff that you do. But
so you're pulling G's.
Yeah, we're pulling
G's.
I pulled about 5 or 6 G's. Yes.
That's amazing. And there was still an issue with roller coasters. Yeah, have you dissected why? Are you comfortable sharing?
Absolutely. Childhood fear. When I was about 4 or 5 years old, somebody put me on a roller coaster. I cried like hell. They had to stop the ride in the middle. Everybody looked at me like I was an idiot. And I remembered all that until about maybe 30, 35 years old. Right. So that's how it happened.
And you conquered it.
Conquering fear.
You wrote a book about it. That's pretty cool.
And I've got a section on conquering your fear.
I still fear my old job of being a ground crew for an aerial advertising company, because when you're 15 and you're having to dodge the hooks of the little Cub planes coming down and the Cessnas. Yeah, great time.
That's the hardest. That is the hardest job to do, by the way, because you got to come in hard and you got to go full power as soon as you grab the hook. All right, and I would not want to do that. To me, that's more dangerous than me actually doing a barrel roll or an Emmelman or any type of maneuver, an S-turn, or even losing your engine and practicing an engine without, with the stick, with the dead stick. Mm. So that's something. So, Brenner, why don't you continue flying?
I have my reasons. But, yeah. I mean, I happen to have a diagnosis that prevents me from flying, and frankly, I think I'll at some point when I'm playing TD Garden and whatnot, they'll take the FAA up on their via.
Okay.
That's another story.
Well, listen, look, you're up and coming. eventually you're going to start playing tours. We've had a lot of people here that are playing tours, and we go over their tour schedule, and it's all over the place. I mean, they're just everywhere. So you're probably going to have to get around that. I mean, you don't want to be like Madden. Remember the football player? He'd always bust. Yeah. He always bust. He would never be able to fly. Never flew. It would take him years to get to where he needed to go. But eventually,
I can be a passenger.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
That's not a problem.
Oh, well,
I think if I succeed and buy my own, I love those Honda jets, those little
yes,
Honda business jets. I would love to get one of those and just fly it around.
Well, you know, when they first came out, basically they were kind of dangerous because
well, I think they're still having issues, actually.
Yeah,
but yeah.
No, I stay away from the smaller jets. I like the bigger ones, and I like prop aircraft. You know, prop aircraft. If you have an engine issue, you can glide. You can glide in a Cessna or a Piper or any of those. You can't do that. Oh, by the way, when we're talking about the Cubs,
I think that the reliability of a modern jet engine is probably a bit higher than a combustion or a regular prop.
We only heard part of you. I guess you moved your head. What was that question again, or what was that statement?
I think that the engine on a Cessna is probably not as reliable as the engine on a Learjet.
Well, there's usually two on a Learjet, so yeah, and you could probably land with one of them. But I'll tell you one thing: if I had an incident with an engine, I would much rather be in a prop aircraft than I will in a jet. Okay, the glide ratio, the drop to glide ratio is so much better in a Cessna or a Piper or a Beechcraft or any of those aircraft, as opposed to if you're in a 757 and you lose an engine or two engines. Okay, because there are only two engines on those aircraft. Your glide ratio is 2 to 1. You're falling a foot for every 2 feet you go. It's almost like a 45-degree angle. So I would probably not want to do that. So let's get back to you again, okay? For those just joining us, we are talking with writer, recording artist. He's also a guitarist, a drummer. He's got a new album out called Viva Rare. May 8th, it's coming out. You know, check your listings for music. It's going to be on all the platforms. Brenner Plaehn is with us today. And Brenner, I know you're driving. I hope you're not driving while you're talking with us. But you are actually
parked in New Jersey.
I don't want to hear that, man. So basically, you're doing a show now. You're going to be able to do the first several shows. The album is coming out. You have got to be excited about this career. And you got a great publicist. In Eileen from World PR. So what's that feel like?
Well, it's very exciting to see it finally taking shape. But as things move more quickly, there's less time to be excited or nervous or elated or anything, really. This is work, and it has to be done right. And I will recognize that I'm very happy being very, very busy.
Well, that's it. I mean, being busy is everything, especially when you're performing. You know, if you've got open dates, they can be filled. You can even if you're not making a lot of money, it's all about recognition. Like, let's go back to that Boston song. You know, we were just a band out of Boston trying to make ends meet, right? Yes, these things happen. You're playing a small little venue. Look at the Beatles and the Cavern, okay? Playing small little venues, go-go's.
Nose to the grindstone.
Nose to the grindstone. And before you know it, somehow they get a good break. They get a big break. Like you've gotten a good break. In fact, you have a studio in Brooklyn, I believe, that's actually doing the album. So, you know, you're getting breaks there. They're going to promote it for you.
Very happy.
Yeah.
My producer deserves to mention. His name is Ben Rice. And he's fantastic. Very, very good. So, a wonderful relationship with him. And, I think the future is very exciting, to fully answer your question. And I'm very grateful.
And listen, you're young enough that, you know, it's going to happen. Now, do you have to get studio musicians also in order to do background vocals?
No, I play
and
everything.
Stuff? Oh, you play everything?
I play everything.
So in other words,
the background vocals.
So you play the drums, you play the guitar, you play all that stuff.
Right.
You know what you sound like? You sound like Boston. Okay, because there were only two members of Boston.
That was one guy.
Well, he wrote all the songs,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there was one singer, but he did all the guitar playing. I mean, obviously when they were on the road, that's different. But he actually put all the music together, synthesized it. Okay, and even today, Boston's sound is so incredible. I love Boston, and it's a great. So for those just joining us, we are talking with a writer, recording artist, and of course, guitar player. Musician Brenner Plaehn, and we'll be back with Live on Tape right after these messages. Oh, maybe not. I thought we were going into a break, but I guess we're not going into a break. So how much time we got until the break?
We don't have any. We did all the breaks.
Oh, so we're just going right into the end.
Yes, sir.
Well, how much time do we have to the end?
2 minutes.
Okay. So see, that's why this is why we call it Live on Tape. Okay? Because we're not going to edit it. This is a mistake.
You guys know
this
we're
is
not
a
using
faux
the radio
par.
equivalent of auto
This is a faux par, okay? And that's what I love about this show. I mean, we got people cursing on the show. We got to go back and take it out. But mostly, anything goes on this radio show. So we got 2 minutes left, and we're not going to take another break. So we're done there, and that's good. But I want to thank you for coming on one more time, okay? And that is Viva Rare, May 8th. It's going to be all over the place on all the platforms. Okay, you've got 8 songs on it, and we can't wait. Now, what are the platforms? You got about a minute left. What are the platforms? Give us that quickly.
Apple Music, Spotify. You can follow my Instagram.
Okay.
You can find either the Apple Music or the Spotify there. It's going to be on Deezer, iHeartRadio, basically anything.
Sounds good. Well, listen, Brenner, I think we're out of time at this point. Let's see. Let's ask Shane. I think we're out of time. So thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you live on tape, Pete Trabucco, and we'll talk to you again next week. Have a great weekend, everybody.